Good morning. I just have a new piece of software that I'm trying out where I can do screen talks and things along that line. So I thought I would start off with maybe talking about one of the paint programs that I like to use. It's called Rebelle 7 Pro. And I'll just open it up here and we can walk through one of the paintings I worked on just to, give you an idea of some of the steps that I take to do a painting of this type. Although I have Photoshop and I use it considerably, but it's a totally different type of program. This is strictly a painting program opposed to photo compositing, photo editing. And although you can do painting in Photoshop, it doesn't have quite the same tool sets. And this program is actually very affordable. I think it cost me like 140 bucks Canadian. So that's a huge difference from getting the Adobe setup, which I do have, and it's pricey and I do use it, but not for this type of work. So the nice thing about this is, when I start, it comes up with this screen and it asks me what size I want things, which DPI, which measurement system I want. I come over here, it brings up the selection of canvases so I can have different canvas types, rough texture, weave, whatever I want, and I can control the texture scale so that it's more visible, especially when you're outputting to printing. On this side, it's basically it'll come up with whatever color I choose for my background on the whatever canvas or paper. And down here I can add more canvases or more colors, I mean, for doing whatever. So that's already been kind of selected. Over here are all my brushes. So I've got flat, I got a filbert, I got watercolor, pen, crayon, pencil crayon. I've got like a charcoal pastel. I got a felt pen and airbrush. Here are all the different types of brushes. So if I've got a colored pencil, you can see there's a color pencil range here that shows me different sizes of the tips. If I go to the flats, I can pick, the different flats and things. I can all the different types of brush textures. So let's open a painting that I was working on, that kind of says it all right off the top. So it's loading. We'll take a look and see how it works. This is a lot of fun if you're an artist and you like to paint. This is just one more step, and it's heading into the future. That as things become harder and harder to get, the digital world is opening up more and more, and I don't think there should be any fear about it. I think we should embrace it. So here's a painting that I'm working on, or I worked on, and it starts like this. You can kind of see, if I zoom in, you can see the weave of the paper, which shows through in the finished painting. And then over here would be my brushes. So if I want a flat brush or a filbert, if I hit the flat, you can see this is all the different brush trips. For a flat, I've got different strokes and things, and I can control the size here, the load, so how much paint is on there, plus also how much you can dry brush, or you can load it right up. And the oilness will give me heavy texture with the brush marks in there, or I can have it like it's been oiled, it's been medium added. And then pencil for this size. What I did, just increase the size so we can see it, but you can draw whatever you want. And then just undo this, but that's how I'd start my sketch. And then I would move on to, okay, I want to start blocking in my color. So I come over here, I click on that, and up comes what I did for blocking in. You can see I've got all my different color ranges. It's really just structuring the painting. And if I click up on this part, it brings up colors, how I can do it. Now with Rebelle, you've got another option which is really nice, and it's called a mixing palette. So I can pull this up, and I can actually take different colors and apply them. So down here I've got, okay, brush, I want to put red, or gray. I'm in a gray scale here. I go over to red. So I can do that, and then I can come over to, let's say, let's go green, let's say yellow. So we'll pull up a bright yellow, and then I can pull up the yellow beside it. And then down here I can come and pick, this is erase and this is mix. So then I can mix the two together, and you can see very quickly that you can get different ranges of colors. And then from there you can take the eyedrop tool, and if you pick it, it will pick that color and it appears up here, which you can then add to your painting. It's just another option, and the colors mix true. So if you got a, an ultramarine blue, and you put a cad yellow or a Hansi yellow into it, you'll get the range of greens that you would truly get when you were using paint, which is quite amazing for a thing. So I've done the block in, and I'm kind of okay. Let's get moving on to the next level. So I add the trees. Bang! In comes the trees, and you can see the nice thing about layers is it gives you a chance to play around with different things, opposed to if you're painting on a single layer, there you got to back up, and it's okay. I do paintings both ways. I'll do them single layer, or I will do them on multiple layers, something along this line. So now I can see how the painting's structuring. Okay, I'm kind of happy with it, but let's add some grass into it. So now I add the grass. You can see it appear, and you can kind of see how it comes together. And I put a little bit of foreground and things in there, and then I add a little bit more. I feel the building's lacking a little bit in sunburst and lighting and things, so I can add that, so I can illuminate what I've got. So you can go over top of it without changing what you've done and then have to try to bring it back again. So that is a big advantage with digital painting. It gives you more options to see where you're going, and you shouldn't overlook the fact that this can just be a mock-up to an actual painting for yourself. That you can take this information now and apply it to a canvas without so much as a guesswork. I do both. I use it for all types of work, and it's just a tool. Like it really is. So to get this division between digital and the old school way, it's kind of a lost argument with me. And then there's just the shadows. They're very subtle, but they are there. So if I back up on this, I can see the shadows, right? I don't need much. I just wanted to see some enhancement, and that kind of gives you one run through on using a digital paint program. For the price of it, it's affordable. If you're not tech savvy, it's still kind of fun to play with. And if you're kind of in both worlds of digital and the old school way of doing things, it's just another tool to your arsenal of getting artwork done. It's a great way to conceptualize, and the output to printing is actually very, very accurate when it comes to color. And with this over here, I get the nano export, which brings up this little box here, and it'll tell me, I can go up to 4 times here, and it gives me the ranges. So if I went to this size, it would tell me I'm in 28,800 pixels by 19,076 pixels. It kind of runs through each one, and it tells you what it is in inches. So that painting now that was smaller jumps up to 96 inches by 36 and a half inches. So, and there's no loss of information, which is a huge deal. So in Photoshop, you would have to set up a file of that size or really high DPI. And if you don't have a really strong system, you're really running your system pretty hard. Anyways, there's that. It's a nice ad. So anyways, that concludes my test with my brand new software and maybe a little insight into my digital work. Thank you.